your achievements, if people don't like that, then they're a hater, because you should be proud of your achievements. You should be proud of the sales that you have, whether it's a
Agreed.
$200,000 condo or a $10 million home. It's something that you accomplished because you
Yep.
helped out a family or a person make one of the biggest life decisions, which is purchasing a property.
All right, so welcome to an episode of Real Estate vs. Technology Unleashed. Today, we're going to be going to Vegas. I actually went to a Neil Holmes event, the Ford event, about 3 weeks ago. And Melissa, who was actually on our episode, on a podcast episode already, she said, you have to get someone on the show. I was like, all right, who is she? And so we met, we talked a little bit, and now she's going to be on Real Estate vs. Technology. This is going to be a shorty, but a goodie, and I'm super excited. Let's go all the way to Vegas and welcome Cami to the show. Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology. How's your morning?
Hi, it's good. How's yours?
It's going well. It's going well. Had some contractors here at the house, and I was like, all right, I got to jump to a podcast real quick. And speaking of technology, right? You were like over on the Zoom side. It's just like, let's get on StreamYard, because we used to be on the Zoom side. So StreamYard's cool because you could do some fancy things like, there you go, put your name there at the bottom, what have you. But love your setup, love your story, I love your vibe. Everyone got to check her out. Check out Cami. Her links are down below. But let's get a little bit into your story. And first and foremost, like, why real estate? You're top 75 in Las Vegas. You're crushing it. You definitely have this like influencer vibe. I love what you're putting out there. Crushed on Instagram, 414,000 followers. Why real estate?
So my husband, when we were a boyfriend and girlfriend, he was and still is one of the top lenders. And it's one of those things, when we first started, I said to him, hey, I want to get into real estate. And there's a joke around town that just like retired bottle girls who have no education, which I do have education, but would go into real estate. That was like the thing. That's like, oh, well, they're done with the bottle service. And I did bottle service in Miami, and I did bartender in all the hot nightclubs, but I have my master's as well. And I wanted to, thank you, wanted to do PR, but I just no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I said, all right, well, let me try real estate. And he's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, let me just try it and see. And I mean, I can't believe, I did not think it was going to be as successful. I didn't know my left, my right. I didn't know the cities, towns. I faked it till I made it. Like I had no idea where I was, what side of town I was on, nothing.
Wow, that's awesome. And so then now, how long have you been in the business for?
It's going to be 7 years in January.
And now getting into real estate from your previous endeavors, how do you like it? And how was the transition for anyone who maybe was, following your footsteps and now want to go into real estate and they already follows you online and is now watching this episode? How was that transition for you?
Believe it or not, the transition for me was not as rough, I guess you could say, as newbies. I'm an introvert, but at the same time, I'm an extrovert. Like, I'm relentless. Everything I mind to, I know I succeed, and I have to. Just like, I'm hard on myself. And I meet people all the time that are like, I am in the business. Like, I haven't gotten anything in a year, and my husband doesn't give me leads. Like, he has his agents, and he's not going to steal their leads. So that's, people don't understand that. They think, oh, her husband must give her leads. No, he doesn't. He has his agents that he works with, and he's, they're faithful to him. So I was just relentless in the sense of, if I was getting Starbucks coffee, I was giving my card out. If we had dinner, I would put my card, when we gave him the check. I just told everyone that would listen that I do real estate, and it paid off because we were at one of our friends' Super Bowl parties, and I still didn't know anyone here. And I was talking to now she's a good friend of mine. At the time, she was an acquaintance, and her name is Kelly. And she's like, well, what do you do, Cami? And I'm like, oh, I do real estate. And she's like, I want to sell my husband's bachelor pad.
What?
And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, let's do it. And I mean, from there, like, we developed a really good business and friendship. And she just started giving me leads, and then it just like snowballed into what it is now.
That's huge. That's awesome. I love I love just like the hustle, right? Like, at the end of the day, I think whoever's viewing and watching right now, it's like, you got to get yourself out there. You got to give business cards. You got to network. You got to do whatever you can and scream on the mountaintops and say, hey, this is what I do for a living. And I would love to be able to be of service, help you out however any way I can. And so that was, it sounds like the catalyst for you to really, I guess, lift off, no point intended, it's our sponsor of the show, your real estate business. And then I also see that you're on, say, Instagram, crushing it there as well. And for our viewers and listeners out there that like utilizing social media to incorporate that for like lead generation, getting, you know, their lifestyle out there, their family out there, what they do out there, how do you leverage like technology and your social media to also get yourself out there, and how has that helped you over the years?
Can you curse on the show?
Of course.
Okay.
It's all good. It's unleashed. Let's go.
Okay. So basically, don't listen to those coaches that say, no agents want to see your closings. No, you know, like I've heard that so many times. And I'm like, because guess what? People are following you, whether they're friends, family, acquaintances, or just lurkers. They are following you. And I've gotten so many leads on social media in the sense of like, hey guys, I closed this house. Look at this. I did this for my clients, or look at the tour of this house. And they're like, hey, Cami, I remember you're a real estate agent. Can you help me with this? You know, like, okay, like people are like, oh, you're showing off to other agents. Hey, however you feel, that's not up to me. That's on you. But I'm here to get clients, and I'm here to support my family and show my girls that like, hey, mama's out here doing her thing, you know? So when I do that, you have to push on social media. And also for the consumer, you have to look like you're human too. Like they don't want someone that's constantly pushing sales on them. They want to see that you are human. You have a family. You do things outside of real estate. They want to relate to you. They don't want to feel like you're superior or that you're untouchable.
Yes, 100%. I love that. I think it makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, it's like it could be this facade, like, oh, you know, they post all the prettiest pictures and the best situations or the best events that they've gone to or whatever else, and kind of lose touch as far as a human being. And I like how you put your family out there, different life events out there for your children, your husband, what you guys are up to. For the viewers and listeners, is there like, I don't know, like a secret recipe, like an approach that you take as far as like, is there a strategy behind your Instagram? Or are you just kind of going with the vibe, kind of going with the flow? And when you post your content, like, do you have any type of like secrets there, or any type of strategies there? Or do you just kind of go as it goes? How does it work for you on your Instagram?
I'm going to tell you a secret.
Okay, let's go.
You're not going to believe it. Just be yourself.
Easy
honestly,
peasy.
Just I am like myself. And hey, some people may not like me, and that's okay if you don't have good taste. I totally get it. And I'm just myself, because who I am online is who you're going to meet in person. I don't want to portray something online and then you meet me in person and you're like, that's not the girl I thought she was. You know, I want to meet people and they already feel like they know me, and I know them. So just be yourself, and believe it or not, the people that want to work with you are going to come to you. And if they don't want to work with you, then they're not somebody you're going to like anyways.
100%. I absolutely love that. So when people are out there being themselves, it's like, don't think so much about what he or she's going to think or how you look and all the things. It's like, just go out. And when you're doing what you're doing, post it, be transparent, be authentic. So like, say for instance, like moments on social media with Instagram on stories, like what would you say for someone listening? What's maybe some cool things for them to think about, and things that you do to like help someone out there as far as what to post on stories, like behind the scenes, what are they up to? Like, how do you approach that?
What I do a lot, if like I did, my daughter, she just started school yesterday, and that just breaks my little heart. But I post her, and I have a listing coming up, so I'll post like a little bit of a sneak peek in my story of coming soon, the view, or of like a behind the scenes of us doing the video tour. You know, I just put little snippets of my life. Sometimes I won't even post anything on my story because I'm just busy. But I'll catch back up, and because you know how Instagram is, sometimes you have to kind of do like a 24-hour reset for your stories. To get the best reach. But yeah, so I post my life, like if I'm having lunch with a friend, or if we're doing a signing, or picking up my daughter from school, or how her first day of school went. Snippets of your life. You don't want to obviously overshare, because if you're like, Jesus Christ, for those stories that are like over 50, I try to stick to like 5 a day. And then when it comes to posting on my grid, like you could post like life moments. You don't have to post every single thing that you do. But your achievements, if people don't like that, then they're a hater, because you should be proud of your achievements. You should be proud of the sales that you have, whether it's a $200,000 condo or a $10 million home. it's something that you accomplished because you helped out a family or a person make one of the biggest life decisions, which is purchasing a property.
I love that. I love that. I literally just did a video, and I'll do videos on YouTube for like helping agents on the lift off agent side that sponsors Real Estate First Technology. And I talked about like, you know, the business and the personal brand, like bring those together, because like as an agent, you are the brand, you're the face, you're the brand. People buy from someone they know, like, and trust. And so I was looking at like the 80-20, like 80% should be personal, what you're up to, what you're doing. And the other 20% could be like, you know, client testimonial, the house that you sold, the story behind a seller you helped. And like, I love, and I think the biggest thing that I've seen is like telling the stories. Like if you have a crazy story of a house that you sold or a buyer that you helped, and like it almost like the deal almost fell through, or it almost wasn't going to work, or whatever the case may be, like share that so other people could be like, okay, I was thinking about buying a house and I was kind of like tripping off the situation. And then I saw what, you know, Cami put out there, and like, oh, she could do this with her buyer, so I could do this too. You know, I feel like that also can help with the process for anyone viewing and listening out there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, deals are tough now. There's always, you learn something new in every deal. I've learned that. Every deal I've learned something new.
100%. Now, question, would you say that a lot of the people that you work with, because they say like your vibe creates your tribe, would you say that the people that you typically work with are people that you vibe out with, people that you could like see as a friend outside of just a working relationship?
Yes, I would say probably 99% of my clients are still friends of mine. Like I would say 99%.
I love that.
There's maybe a 1% of a little psycho here and there that I'm like, oh, I'm so glad this deal is over. Like, please just lose my number. Like, I don't know. I know I would get a great review. I don't even want that. Just go.
I love it. I love it. So there you go, y'all. No personal, no professional. Just keep it all personal, because at the end of the day, people like to separate that stuff. And I'm like, no, just keep it personal. Like you are who you are, and they're going to connect with you. And then there's these agents out there that have like a private Instagram account. Like, why do you have a private Instagram account? Like, are you a private agent? Like, what's going on here? I love that. And I can imagine too, because, you know, obviously as a female and someone who's attractive, you could probably be dealing with a lot of different type of circumstances. And, you know, I can only imagine, how do you keep it professional, right? When someone's probably either walking the line or over the line, you're just kind of like, do you have to put people in check? I'm just curious personally, do you ever put people in check and be like, you know, we're here to get the deal done, okay? Focus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially with the higher end clientele, that they think they can have whatever they want. You know, they have a wife and they think because they have money, they can have something else, and you have to be like, no, that's not going to happen here. You can buy a house. You want my number? You could be my client. But it's about as far as it's going to go.
I love that.
And then they respect you more for that.
Yeah. You know, people want what they can't have, right? Draw the line. And at the end of the day, they're going to be like, all right, I'm going to use you again for the next home, right? Or the penthouse, the investment property, whatever the case may be. I love that. I think that's a really strategic way of looking at it. And I'm curious because, you know, a little bit on the personal side, tattoos. I saw on your stories, you got another big tattoo on the leg, and something about the fact that like you don't enjoy it, but you keep doing it. What's the story behind the tattoos here? Is it a love-hate relationship or what?
It's I love my tattoos. I do. I love them. I hate getting tattooed. Like, I detest it. My tattoo artist, he did my back, he's doing my leg now. He was saying, you are worse to sit. But I refuse to be a little bitch and go under. Like, that's what's happening now. They're like going under anesthesia, getting tattooed by like 8 different artists for like 12 hours.
Wow.
I mean, I did pretty good in my last one. I did 9 hours, but I'm just like, I hate it, but I love them. I do love them. It's like my way of expressing myself rather than going to jail. So I'd rather just like get tattooed. And if you're gonna get tattooed, you need to stay up and take the pain. Like, that's the whole point of getting a tattoo. You're a badass. You're gonna sit and you're gonna take the pain. You're not gonna freaking go under anesthesia. And I could just go on a rant, but yeah.
I love that. No, I'm right there with you. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. And it's like, you're going to do it, just go all out. There's no reason why not to, and just go for it. So when it comes to, say, like, I could tell the tattoos are part of your brand, everyone can go ahead and follow Cami down below. Her Instagram's there. So you can go ahead and check out the way that she approaches things. So do you do like photo shoots? So sprinkle in like some personal content. I see the real estate content. And then you also like hire photographers so you can also get some more polished like headshots, photos, like that type of style too. And how does that work with like the contrast of your page, right? Because, you can almost go to your page and look at it like, yeah, you're an agent, but also it's like, oh, well, is she like a tattoo artist? Is she a tattoo model? Like, is she a model in general? Like, oh, okay, I see some homes being, oh, she's a real estate agent. So you have this dynamic about you that people could connect with you in different ways, whether it's modeling or tattoos or real estate or whatever, family. So how do you approach that as far as sprinkling some of that professional, content outside of just maybe like you're at the park with your family, as I see here, which is just, just a normal post compared to, some of the ones that are going to be more of a professional, looks like a photo shoot.
So, I mean, I was a tattoo model. So
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, if you can Google it, I'm sure it's on there. It is probably on
Yeah.
there. And so, like, yeah, I was on tattoo magazines and all that stuff. And then obviously I transitioned to real estate. So yeah, I mean, there's things like that I can't prevent people from seeing. I mean, I wasn't nude, but there's like people are gonna be like, oh, she was a tattoo model or she did tattoo stuff, so it's just fine. And I don't do that anymore, but I do like to update my headshots. Agents, please, like, this is not, stop using your headshot from 1980. Like, you don't look like that anymore. Just stop. It's blurry. Even when you try to put the filter on it, we can tell it's not you.
Yes.
Now, you're going to meet a client and they're going to walk right past you thinking that that's not you. So
that's the worst.
I like to keep, even like I hate the my card that I have now, because when I had short hair from 2 years ago, and I have to update that. But I try to get like new headshots twice a year, just for marketing purposes, or just to have like on my listings, or just for like my mailers or flyers or what have you, or the billboard that I have up now, just stuff like that. But I just feel like I don't know, just keep with like getting new content out there, whether it's, checking out new homes, whether it's talking about your family, a story that happened to you, a restaurant you just went to, just constantly like put stuff out there. Because I feel like people who just put real estate, they're going to look at your profile and say, oh, another home. And they're just going to keep scrolling.
I love that. You got to have the contrast. I think so many people forget about the fact that it's like, give contrast. Like, what do you like to do? What are you passionate about? What does your personal life look like? Do you have a family? And then like, okay, let's get into, this is what I do for a living. This is business, right? So I love how you sprinkle that in. So let's go a little bit into, I'm curious about your involvement with, because we all know now the Raiders, right? They're in Vegas. There's a lot of players out there. They need homes. We see that you're working with some of the players. So anyone out there that wants to potentially get into working with a professional athlete, how do you even get those connections for anyone who's watching and curious about getting connections like at that level?
So at first I saw, oh, the Raiders are coming. And this was before you could buy your verification on Instagram. So I was already verified on Instagram. And
Congrats.
I thought, I was I already had like a step up. So I was DMing them because, obviously they got bombarded by agents, but I was able to stick out because I had the verified check mark. So that was how I was able to get my foot in. But after that, it was, you have to show that you have good service, that you're going to be a, agent. And I have pulled some deals that the guys still talk about it to this day. They're like, oh my God, can we get this? Can we get that? Like, you're not going to believe it. So now it's more so like word of mouth. It's gotten to the point where, the O-line, like done deal, they're all good friends of mine, and I have that. I've done some defense, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely now like word of mouth for sure.
I love that. That makes a whole lot of sense. And I think that people out there, just remember, it's okay to send people DMs. It works. Like, that's where the magic happens. And I feel like
what's the worst are they going to say? What are they say? No, or not respond to you? Okay.
Yeah. 100%. But see, that's what you're doing. You have really like your Instagram. People forget that your Instagram is like your resume. So when they see your page and they see, okay, you're a mom. Okay, they can relate to that. Okay, you're a real estate agent. Okay, I see that. Okay, tattoos. Oh, I got tattoos. I love that too. So they can go down and see specifically like your resume, and it's great because it's in photos. It's super simple. It's easy peasy, and then from there they can be able to connect with you. And if they connect with you, like I said earlier, your vibe creates your tribe. And so that's where I love. And I would tell our team on the Lift Off Agent side, like, go connect, go share other people's content, and like, don't ask for anything. And then they'll be like, oh, hey, thanks for sharing my content. I really appreciate it. And then from there, you could potentially over time be like, hey, you know, I see this, this, and this, and would you like to elevate this, this, and this from your online perspective? And then they're like, oh yeah, sure. So I know we're getting close on time, and this is going to be a shorty but a goodie for everyone who's watching.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. And we have an in-person podcast studio. So right now I'm sitting in that in-person podcast studio. So who knows? Maybe in the future we'll get you out here to Scottsdale and get you into the hot seat. The wifey will make us some matcha, and our kids can play. I got a 6-year-old daughter, and so we'll have some fun and jam out later on. But as we close up the show, Cami, we want to just give a golden nugget, something that someone could take from today's episode to apply to their business to have more massive success. What is something that resonates with you? Maybe a liftoff moment in your life, something that was like a click. You're like, oh, and then you can now give to someone else, and potentially it can click on today's episode for them.
Well, obviously my first referral was a click for me.
Okay.
You know, that was good. But I tell my friends, even like, listen, even when it's the 200,000 or the 10 million, everybody wants a deal, right?
Yeah.
You know, so like I had someone recently, and they were like, oh, well, can you give me, you know, this much off or what have you? Which, hey, I respect it. I respect the negotiating. But
of course.
I was like, do you go into Louis Vuitton, because you obviously have them on, and do you say to them, hey, can I get a discount off these shoes? No, right? Because you know the quality, you know that they're nice, you know you like them. I know my worth. So I'm the Louis Vuitton. So you either get the quality and you get the luxury, or you don't get anything at all. And that's what people ask me about. Oh, like these hiring clients, that don't they intimidate you? I'm like, honestly, I can't even kiss my own ass. So I'm not going to kiss anyone else's ass. He does. So that, I think, like I will say, take no shit from somebody. If somebody doesn't like you, that's fine. You know, it's okay to have bad taste. That's all right. But just take no shit. Be who you are. You know your worth. Yeah, they're going to say, oh, well, then another agent's going to do it cheaper. Or fine. Guess what? That other agent is what's like dampening our like agency right now, or agents right now, because that's what's hurting us. You know, and if you show your worth, they'll stick with you. Like, that's why the word of mouth is good. You know, I don't pay for leads. I don't do any of that. And that's because of people know how my work ethic is. Yes, I'm fun. I have fun. But like, I've been dubbed the Viper for a reason, because I am a very, very, very aggressive agent.
Boom. I love that. Don't sell yourself out short. Be your true, authentic self. Go have fun. You never know who you'll connect with. Your Instagram's your resume. Go follow Cami. This is a shorty but a goodie. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys.
I'll do another one.
You're good. You're good. At the end of the day, it's you know, just give them a little teaser, right? For maybe more we can go into later on about some psychology, some things that happen, some stories from some top people that you've worked with over the years, right? I mean, we could talk about ball players the whole nine, but if anything, Cami, thanks so much for your time today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And thanks to all our viewers and listeners, as it is our intention for you to take things from our episode, apply to your business, have more massive success. Thanks to Lift Off Agent for sponsoring. Like, subscribe, notification bell. We'll see you all on the next one.